So I do want to do a segment talking about the workflow of ShapeRecall. So let's just take this cube, scale it down, and I'm just going to cut a single little tick in it just to get the party started with the cutters collection. And we're going to Shift A, add a box, and we're just going to move this box off to the side and just, shape it up. So I'm just scaling in object mode, sloppily, in the worst way possible, the worst way to be modeling, So we'll just add an array on it, and we'll just put some additional segments on it, and this is a piece, and we'll move it over and make another piece, and we'll press QOT to just put a box around it using HardOps. And I'm just going to select this loop and delete these middle faces inside, and we're just going to solidify that like so. So we just want to have a rim around it, so we have these grates, and then we have this kind of variant grate, and then we'll duplicate it over and make another type of variant grate. I'm just going to press Control A in visual geometry to mesh, and we'll use Alt X mirror inside of HardOps and just use symmetry to just quickly divide this mesh in half. And we're just going to create a little lip on this and bring this in and create another type of shape contrary to the other two that we have. And I mean, this is really all in a day's work, making variants and setting yourself up for success. So we'll just duplicate that over, and we'll just Alt X mirror it both ways. So now we have just these 4 different variants. I'm going to press B and box select all of them, and then Control A visual geometry to mesh, and we're just going to select each of them and just join them to their border, because I know their border has a same central point. So these shapes really don't matter. They're just shapes to recall for this example. So I'm just going to move them to the cutter collection, and if we press 1, we're now on our main collection. And I'm just going to go to box, and if we just draw a shape, even though the shapes appear, that's because they're currently set to solid, which is the only way to bypass the system. But notice that right now I'm drawing a box, and if I press tab I can pause it, and if I press C I can actually recall the cutters from that collection. So here I am recalling a cutter that I've never used, that I just modeled for the purposes of this demo. I can hold Alt and also scroll through different combinations of these cutters, but just like that I'm able to really quickly create a kit bash kit of parts that I'm able to use just on the fly for creating a unique asset without a whole lot of rigmarole. And then of course, let's say I did not want these shapes to show up like that whenever I used them. Well, that could actually be resolved by marking them as wire, using that as an override, because I'd always want some sort of backdoor filter whenever it comes to any sort of system that's kind of overarching with sort. We had it with render visibility, which was problematic for those rendering, but was also the only way to give it a backdoor at the time. So it was either that or nothing. So it's just one of those things. So here we are, just continuing modeling the shape, but we made it in no time, and that's because we modeled a few variants off to the side and then just brought those in order to just quickly shape replace and put this shape together.